It's all good. So my name is Ferenc Zepko, and I'm from Budapest, Hungary, and I graduated from Central St. Martin's in London. And this is my graduate collection called Adventures in Stitches. And the backdrop of this whole collection is that is a pandemic, obviously, and I couldn't return to London for my final year, so I was stuck at home in Budapest, and I didn't have any resources, I didn't have any equipment, so I decided that I would do a fully craft-based handmade collection, and I used my family library as my primary research place. And the name of Adventure Stitches came from a book written by Mariska Karas, who was a Hungarian textile artist who emigrated to the US in the early 20th century. She was famous for her modernist embroidery designs, but she always looked back at her heritage and used folk motifs and decorative elements in her work. And yes, and this is one of my fabric development pages. So I was looking at techniques, and I found it's very typical in Eastern Europe. I was interested in this technique, which you can see on the right, because it's basically combining three techniques together. So first you crochet a braid, then you sew it on a fabric, so basically embroider it on. So you give the shape and the pattern, and then the whole thing is hold together by needle weaving between. So I was really fascinated by this time-consuming and very delicate technique. And this is another part of my project. I called it like homage to Mariska Karas, because she made many embroideries of her friends and her family, and I wanted to create embroideries that are modern in terms of usage of materials and colors and composition, but I still want to pay an homage to her because her book was really inspiring for me. And these are my final works. It is basically, with my textiles, I try to build up these characters, these Hungarian typical characters. And for example, this one is the Hungarian warrior. It's like the hussar. The next one is the Hungarian shepherd. But she's not wearing sheepskin. She's wearing a loopy, plied up, crocheted textile as fur, which is made of jute yarn. And I made a skirt of a yarn I found here. It's made of straw. And I found it really interesting. It's a very interesting texture. And this is my homage to Mariska Karas fabric pieces. I try to show like the adaptability of this fabric. So it could be like part of a dress, it could be part of a coat or anything basically. And yeah, and I use my intricate woven crochet pieces as like talismans and charms. And for me, this character was kind of like the healer who is protected by these charms. And this is my last piece, which is basically all my textiles together. I wanted to build up this character of the Hungarian bride. And I think it really represents my work in terms that I was really focusing on the clashing of colors, the colors, textures, and layers, and to be a bit festive and optimist, basically. So this is my presentation. Actually, I don't have my textiles with me, just like a few pieces. My first trials. This is my weave and crochet piece. So I have in Hungary right now. And this is one of the first like embroideries that I made the first trial. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ferenc. Beautiful presentation.